mean, obviously I'm not telling you that these horses are 1,000,000% in single, because they've only just gone in, you know, obviously they've got to watch it. So even this one here is a bit lucky. This is all changed here, this building site. I've just taken everything away yesterday. Go on, all the fencing and everything, so he's having a look at that. Go on. But he moves nice, this horse. He'll move even better. Go on, baby, on you go. So he drives real nice, this pony. Very, very soft in the mouth. You can see there, beautiful head carriage on the slack rein. You can see him there, look, no pressure on the reins at all, just carries head in the right place. Go on, babe, up you go. Come on, baby. So real nice. All I would say to you is, when you put him in, when you first, you know, put him in, give him a minute and make him stand. He's impatient. If you don't do that, he'll always be that way. You know, he's impatient to get off. So what I do when I put him in, just get up on board, you know, let him stand free, no one in front of him, and just get him to stand. Do not pull on his mouth, because that won't do anything. Just let him walk onto the bit. You know, if you hold the bit in one place, see his turn, look. Real nice turn on, you know. And he's in narrow shafts now. Go on, my baby. Right, go on, up. Canter up. Right, canter up the road. If I want to stop him. Go on, canter, get on. It's too thumb and forth. Get up there, go on, canter. Right, I want to stop him. Whoa. Stand still. Car coming. Stand still. So that's what I mean. See that little tiny bit? Let me get on. So don't panic or don't do nothing. Don't holler and shout at him. Don't do anything. Just stand still. Stand. 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 That's it. When he stands quiet, count to 10, 20, 30, whatever you want to do. And then walk. Walk. He's a keen, lovely, lovely little horse. Forward going. He's everything you could possibly want for in a cob. Trot boy, get on, go on. Up there, so there he is there. Chuck the reins down. Run off with you or do anything. See there? I've got to just pick the reins up because we're going round this corner. But I'll just lift the reins up, tell him steady, steady. Come right back. Come on, my lad, good boy. Just tell him, whoa. Come back, baby. Come back. Come back. Light touch. We come back for you. Walk. Walk. But I break my horses light in the mouth. You start yanking them about, and they ain't going to get the message, you know. So a light contact. You've got a bit of a sand school. I thought you said stick him in there, get the feel of him, single. But he's safe, you know, as far as I'm concerned. I'd drive him anyway. I'd drive him through the middle of London tomorrow, you know, it wouldn't bother me. But I know the horse, and that's the difference. You've been with me, and obviously you know them, don't you, when you've been around them that long. Go on. remember what I'm saying here with this horse. Both of them the same. They're very, very soft-mouthed. When you've been used to driving and hanging on to horses, you can be too heavy. So when you put him in, stand there, get up on your seat. Don't let anybody be around his head. Just walk to the side of him out the way, and then just tell him to stand before you move off. Then move off 20 foot, 10 foot, 5 foot, 1 stride, 2 strides, 10 strides. Stand still again. That's what he's got to learn. That's why if he was here another week, that's what I would be doing. But as far as the horse being straight, he's as good as gold. You've seen him in a pair, single, you'll see him in tandem. He's the wheeler. Now, I know a lot of people would say put him out the front because he's got a good step to him, but the other one will have a good step when he's shod correctly. He can't be at the moment. The other thing is on the other horse, he's just been shod, or they've both just been shod. When he's got a different shoe, a different configuration of shoe on the front, he's already got the knee there. He just needs to get stronger. These are babies yet, and they just need to get stronger. I mean, if this was, the back end time, October, November, I'd say chuck them out for the winter. Give them plenty of grub, plenty of hay, and they'll be as good as gold. But he'll stand there like that, and for the time they've been here and the problems that we've had that you understand about, they've done extremely well. I think, they've done well. It's been a lot of bloody hard work, but they're two nice ponies, two lovely ponies. But that's what I'm saying here. Remember this. This horse does not need, this is on rough ground. If I just take this up now, right, and just ask him, come back baby, come back. You see him come back, look at the reins. Can you see? No weight on his mouth, yeah? He will do what he's told on the voice. What you've got to do, two things that's got to happen. One, he's got to get used to your voice, because he knows me and Ree inside out. Ree could drive him anywhere, I could be on the camera, Ree could do all I've just done, stand on the red. So, what I'm saying is, but he's gentle in the mouth. I've only got a soft rubber bit, yeah, and you've got to do that bit, get him to stand, walk off, stand, back up, so he's listening and getting used to your voice. Okay. So we're coming up here to edge trimmer, and all I want him to do is to go past it. It makes a horrible noise, doesn't it? Splashing stuff out all over the place. Go on. But if you go past it, that's nice, yeah. That's very good. Come over. Come over, go on. This horse is flat going at the front. When I mean flat going, he picks his foot up and flops it down like that. He will, when he's shod correctly, he'll, or to assist him in just lifting his knees. I'm not a great one, either they've got it or they haven't got it. I don't believe in weights and pulleys and all that nonsense, never have done. Very much in Holland they want to do that, But if horses got it naturally, you can develop it. If you ain't got it naturally, you haven't. But he's got it there. But he's a bit backward from the other horse, mature-wise, body-wise. Just got a little bit more growing to do. He's got to lift up at the front. He's dipped down, still going down into his back. Come over. Come over. Good boy. As you can see. But he's a nice boy in the shafts, These are narrow shafts, as I say. He was in big, heavy shafts, thicker shafts when we were training them. If I turn him tight now, come round, baby. See that there, real tight. Shoulder, right in his shoulder, that shaft is. And yet he's coping really well with it, yeah? I've also got the belly band on this harness loose. Really have it, the reason it's loose is to get him used to the shafts slapping about on him, Come over, babe, good boy. So these signs that he was, really worried about, he's getting more used to. The other thing is, when you do any change with this horse, so any change at all, like you put him in and do anything different, some horses wouldn't really take that much notice, but anything that's different is a big thing to him, you know, it's a big thing. It's something to worry about, you know. So we're coming up here again to the old trimmer, which is lovely. I just want him to go past and not bother about it, you know, but it makes quite a bit of noise when you can see there. That's sweet, you know. He wouldn't have done that even a week ago. The same thing applies with this one. He's soft in the mouth. You must not, well, you do what you like, it's your rules, but you know, the owner has to do whatever they want to do, but you know, he's soft in the mouth, this horse. I can get a head carriage on him in single. He'll drop his head in a minute and he'll come down, but he's really interested in everything that's going on, and he doesn't cope with change well. So for instance, this has got a blue tarpaulin over the roof, not bothered about it at all, because he's never seen anything different to that. That's what he's at. If you look, he's got some straps coming down the side here on this building, but he's having a look at this today because he's just had the doors put on yesterday. So you can see him in other films come past here like it doesn't exist, but it's got doors on it. It looks different. Lift his head up, you know. It's got them strings coming down there, they wave about in the wind, and them straps, and that upset him to start with. Seen it once or twice, no problem. And that's what he's all about. Change he don't cope with. The other horse copes a lot better, and the only way to get him used to change is to give him plenty of it, but give it to him in a controlled manner, in my opinion. So by that I mean there's no point in bullying him to do this and do that. It's just nonsense, you know. It's just silly. But we just come up. So we just come through here. Look, come through there. Nice. He's a good baby, good boy. So with the other horse, I'll put him. Come on, babe. He's a good boy. So I'll hit this yellow one with it. That's it. Oh my baby. French, come tight. Come on. We'll come through here, straight over the metal sheet. But when I asked him to do something like this, which he hasn't done, I hope he does, you know, but I want him to come up and, now, see, oh dear, what's this? Let's put that there. You know, look, I've got to see this. Walk up, babe. Walk up. Come on, go on. Now this doesn't mean, right, now that's lovely, you saw that then, right? Well, now my other horse, I put it between his legs, didn't I? Rubbed it around his legs, never bothered at all. This little fella would jump over it, wouldn't run away, wouldn't do anything wrong, but he's more unnerved by that, a change. If we do this, if he was here another week, I'd have him walking all over it, you know, well, another couple of days. He would do it. I know he'd do it, but everything that's new is, oh my God, you know. So like now, like, come over, baby. Come over, baby. But there's no point in just stupid to say, come back a little bit. Come back. Come over. Come on. Now that is brilliant. Just bring him back there. Come round. Come right round. Come on, round, come on. But it's not, it's the reaction after. It's not upset. That's what we're looking at. We don't want him upset. And, you know, we don't want to make him upset. They don't prove anything. Bullying horses don't do a thing. Cajole them. Kid them. We're the one with all the brains, supposedly. So use it. So see there, just have a look at this little fella's head carriage now. Just while we're standing here, and we'll get better and better. Just, but he's looked now. He's seen horses down the field. He's seen results down the field. So he's that. Oh my God, what's that? I better go down and investigate that. I better go and have a look. Yeah. But he's a nice. Both of these are nice cobs. Both of these are going to make what's it? You know. They're all lovely, absolutely tip-top, beautiful. lovely pair of little cobs, and nice and mature for their age. He's just a little bit back. If you look at him, he's a little bit low in his back. Yeah, he's just coming up now. So his front half of him is going to lift up, you know, with him growing, and they're going to end up two beautiful ponies. But you can leave them single. What I'm going to do in a minute, I'm going to drive this horse back in the yard, let him see his mate inside the building. If we've got a clear run, there's no dumper in it. I'll turn him round the building and bring him out, and neither of them will make a fuss. I'll let them talk to each other over the door, you know, and they won't bother. But see him stand there, leg at rest, perfectly happy, content, listening to me. Got his ears back. What are you saying, Dad? What have I got to do next? Right, walk. See that there? The noise, scraping it along the ground. He got it underneath the shafts, never kicked back, never got uptight. And these are babies. So when people say to me, oh, you want a horse that's, you know, 10 years old, done there and bush, a load of nonsense. You get a horse, a pony that's youngster, that's trained, stand still baby, stand still, that's trained properly, and the person that, you know, if it's trained properly, and if they come here anyway, we tell them what to do, how to handle them, how to get the best out of them. As long as they continue that, lovely. You see, you notice now this horse just got, stand still. He said, come on, we want to get on. I don't want him to get on, I want him to stand there. But I don't smack him, I don't smack him in the mouth, grab the reins and jerk his mouth with a lump of iron in it. I just talk to him. Tell him he's got to stand there, stand still. Stand still. And have the patience of a saint. That's what you've got to have. And you've got to love them. You've got to love them for what they are, not for what we would like to think they are. So it's just a nice horse, and he's going to have a look at me in a minute. So what are we doing now? We're going to stand here all bloody day, you know what I mean? What a load of nonsense. Just have a look at him the way he's standing there. See his head carriage on him now. You know, look at his head carriage now. Just me taking my time, just taking a little bit away from the reins, a tiny bit, so he's not pulling his mouth back. Just gentle. His mouth's not gagged open, is it? Very good. So we've got two horses here, entirely different, haven't we? They take different approaches. So this little chap here, he'll have a lovely head carriage, he'll be beautiful. If it was October time, you know, I was doing them that time of year, I'd say turn them away from the winter, give them back to me for a fortnight, and I'll polish them, and they'll be, you know, they're two diamonds in the rough now, but they would be two diamonds, definitely. Be lovely, lovely horses, and they would do any job. I mean, they're never going to go trialling and win, are they? Because they're just not got the, you know, the physique for it. They're not made for that. But you could go and have some fun with them at club level, definitely, without any question they would do that. You know, they're happy and contented, and see him stand there now. I've asked him to stand, and I never ever stand still. I never ever have anybody go to their heads unless it's an absolute emergency. Because he's got to do it, because I'm asking him from here. If you go to their heads, I'm not telling you not to go to their heads, I'm saying that if you send your groom up to their heads, right, they'll look for that all the time, the reassurance of someone being there. Well, that's no good, is it? Because the very time when you're in a bad situation, yeah, he's going to be on his own, isn't he? And it's going to take some time to get the groom to his head. So he's just got to stand here now. Now to him, this don't make no sense. Please believe me, this don't make any sense at all. It makes more sense going through them balloons, because he knows what I want him to do. But just to stand still for no reason, you think, come on, let's get on then, let's go and play, or let's go, because he's still a baby. Yeah. Or come on, I'll go and have some aleage. I'm going to eat me, you know, my short grub. I'm going to do something. We don't want to stand here, do we? But he's got to do it. And if he'll do it with his leg at rest like he is there now, right, that's lovely. So he's accepted what I've asked. Right? He's accepted, but now he don't want to, still don't, so I'll just check him again. Don't hurt him, don't pull him, don't yank his mouth. Stand still. Just say to him, stand still. Yeah, change the tone of my voice and let him stand. And there he's standing on a slack rein. Can you see? no weight on his mouth at all, and he's standing. But I mean, I've been doing this all my life. It's all I've done really. I've had to do other jobs to make ends meet, you know, to pay me way. But all I've done all my life from a little kid. I broke my first pair when I was 8, or between 8 and 9 as far as I can remember, years old, and I had 2 little cobs like this, and I suppose that's why it brings back memories of when I was, you know, a nipper, a little ankle biter, you know. I was, hey good boy, and these are very much like the cobs I had. These are real old-fashioned cobs, good made, short coupled, little heads, you know, short coupled horse, nice, plenty of lung room, plenty of barrel on them, and good pair of cobs, nice. When this one's mane grows out, he rubbed his mane a little bit, nothing to do with any itch or anything, but he just rubbed his mane a bit in a, I would think, on a fence or in a manger, you know, when he was trying to get through and eat a bit of grass. But it's, you know, he's got a mane, it's not like he ain't got one, he's got plenty of plaits this side, you can see, but it's just thinner than his mate, you know. But that'll come over this next coming year, and these will look an absolute treat. They want to go in a little, well no, the man's got to do what he wants to do, but they would look lovely in a little, you know, in a pair, in a little delivery van, you know. They'd look really smart, and possibly in a tandem, in a nice varnished cart, you know, a nice varnished gig. I'm just trying to think. You couldn't put them in a Pickering float because it wouldn't look right, although I have seen an old picture with a pair in a Pickering float, but the fella was loaded up with a couple of calves in the bottom of the Pickering float, his missus with all her eggs and butter and everything, and they was going off to market up in Yorkshire somewhere. I'll see an old postcard or photograph, and he had them in a tandem, but he might have been taking he could have been taking the other horse to sell it, you know, the other pony. But there you go. Often when they done tandem, they put a saddle on the one in front so they could go off and someone could go off hunting. When I worked for a fella that used to hunt 3 or 4 days a week up and down the country, I used to drive a random, you know, and he'd have saddles on the first 2, and we'd pull up at the meet and he'd get on board, I'd take one off, and then I'd take that and keep swapping them about till all 3 horses had been used that day, or certainly 2 of them, but quite often there was 3 used. But yeah, nice little cobs these are, special ones. Just when I was an ankle biter, as I say, when I was a kid, I had 2 like this that I broke and drove them as a pair, and no one drove pairs much then, it was just single, walk up, walk, stand. No one really drove pairs back in the day, but you know, people I knew anyway. Gentlemen and gentry, they drove the old, you know, 4-in-hands and pairs, those that were still interested in it, and obviously the coaching club. Stand still. But it died a death. 90% of horses were single in London on vans and stuff like that. They just made the horse bigger, you know, half-bred Shire, Vanna type. Stand still. Half-bred, you know, Vanna, Shire, cross. Stand still. Good boy. Stand still. Good boy. So I've just had to, you know, carry on talking to you because I've got to get this horse to stand still, you know, for a decent length of time, and stop pulling on my hands. Stand still. So I don't really move my hand at all. I let him walk onto the bit, you know, if that's what he chooses to do. So I don't pull back against him. If you watch my hand, when he goes forward, I keep my hand on my knee where it is there. My reins nice. I hold him there like that, so there's no pressure on his bit now. But if he walks forward, he walks onto it as he moves his head forward. So he's teaching himself to stand still. Stand still. Also today, I should have mentioned this earlier just out of interest, we got the britching very low, very low. The reason for that today is this is just one to get him to back with the britching very low. If something happens to your strap, you know, for whatever reason, you catch it, didn't do it upright, whatever reason, and you come back, some, you know, if they've never been used to it, come over, or never felt it, come over, babe, come over. Well, if they've never felt it low down, sometimes they'll put a buck in, you know. Well, stand. So I'm just going to show you there how he'll come back on that. Back, way too low. Walk up. Walk. the time they've been here, you see now he's got his leg at rest, he's accepted the fact I've asked him to stand still. And he does it again. And he stands for a minute, you know, half a minute, 10 seconds even, I don't mind. Then that's lovely, he's put his leg at rest again, that's lovely. So, and then he changed legs and rest with the other one, that's lovely to get comfortable. So that's fine, and that's it, we can go now. To my way of thinking is discipline. Now the reason I've stopped here to show you, we just come out of the top field there, he don't want this. Look at the impatience, can you see? Pouring the ground. Now I could shout and holler and smack him and do all that. No good at all. I'm just going to sit here with my hands on my knees, right? So therefore I'm not moving my hands around by pulling him out. So I'm not yanking my reins back to make him stand. Now he's got to stand there. Now this is discipline. In this day and age, discipline's a dirty word. Right? But if we take these dear little things out of their natural environment, I don't mean a field with a fence around it where they're crapping all over the place, you know, and they're eating amongst it. I don't mean that. And when people say to me, well, I pick it up every day, well, that means there's some of it on the ground 23 hours, isn't there? Obviously. So, you know, so if you take them out of their wild state, I mean, where they can run and go where they like, and it's just natural barriers, rivers, forests, cliff, you know, whatever, that they can't cross, yeah? So when we bring them into our world, then it's our job to get these horses to be happy, safe, happy, confident in this world and in what we ask them to do. If they're not, now the only way they're going to get that way is with discipline. But discipline is not corporal punishment, it's not smacking them, it's not screaming and shouting, it's not bullying. You don't have to do that. What you do have to do, if I feel myself getting, you know, losing the plot, like getting cross, I just walk away. I'll give the, you know, the horse to Ree, or tie it on the wall and walk away, because that's no good. Because my voice and my connection with these horses has got to be something very special. Most people don't understand it, don't get it, most people. And it's very hard to teach or explain to someone because it's a feeling. I can look at the horse, you know, I suppose I've been doing it that long, I'm getting on in years now, and I've been doing it that long, but I can look at the horse and understand what he is. Also, I'm sick and tired of people saying, you know, someone said, oh, you know what Welsh Cobs are like, you know what Welshies are like. Well, I don't know what Welshies are like. No, I don't. Because I can remember being, you know, a proper little ankle biter, 5 or 6 years old, being at the Elephant and Castle, I think the Elephant and Castle it was, picking up horses that had come straight on the train out of Wales, and up in the, I think it's called it, repository there where they sold the horses, and we'd tie them on the back of a trolley, sometimes 4, and home we'd go across London, and you know, we'd take their time, we'd walk a little trot, make sure their feet was all right, and we'd take them home barefoot, that's another thing, and they'd be on the back just with halters on, and they'd all settle and do. And oh yeah, sure they was wild and off the thing, but they weren't, you know, people have given them a terrible name now. It's like there was plenty of acne horses about years ago. You know, half-breds, loads of them. One lady who was, well, definitely a bloody good whip, I mean seriously good whip, was a lady called Hayden, and she had acne and that. She was, and they was impeccably behaved. You know, not. And now always got an acne. Always. I had an Arab the other day come in, an older Arab. We'd done it. The lady over the moon with it. Enjoys it. Out driving it every day. Absolutely loving it. You know, it's got its only thing with it. He has his tail up that high. You have to have the reins either side. But if you lift the, you see the film there on the Arab. But if you put your rein just touch the top of the tail and he put it down for you, you know. But a lovely, lovely horse. Done everything we're doing here. He done. But he's an Arab, so it's nothing to do with how they're bred or anything like that. It's to do with how you treat them. You know, as I keep saying, you have not got to use any force. Certainly, sometimes you've got to, if they're going to drag you around the yard, you've got to check them steady. You know, but I've seen people put bits in their mouth and jerk them in the mouth, and half of them are men. You know, all they are is bloody bullies. They're frightened of the bloody horse, so they try and make the horse frightened of them. Waste of time. Just respect them for what they are and treat them with respect, yes, and get them to do what you want with patience. And if you're doing anything with a horse you think it's going to take half an hour, make sure you've got an hour, because it'll always take bloody longer. Or if it does, you've got the time to do it without messing the horse up, and always finish on a good note. And if you get one thing done in a day or in a lesson, it's a bit dodgy to go for the next thing, whatever that might be. So if you're lunging to the left and the horse has gone lovely left, and it's think I've only got another 10 minutes, then don't push it to turn the horse right, or whatever you're doing. That's not a strict and hard and fast rule. I'm just saying that's what I believe. So this horse now, he was pouring the ground a minute ago, wasn't he? We filmed him constantly all the time, I think, and now he's standing there. The dogs are barking across the road because they can hear me and saying, "Where's Dad? What's that going on? What are you doing over there?" The horse has got his leg at rest and he's standing there quiet. Now, all I've done is asked him to stand there. And I think that's beautiful. We've got all these flags flapping around his head, these things moving, everything like that. Them two grey horses over there, them coaching horses, they're good quiet horses, them two. I'll take them out on a Sunday. We have to put the wheels on them and they go down the road lovely, downhill. Right, walk on. Good boy. And I'm just changing. I normally say walk, because you know most people know I say that and then say walk on, but this fella says walk on, so as these last few days that's what I say, you know, so that with the transition from, you know, trainer to owner, or anyway the person who's going to drive them, is not, it don't want to be a massive thing, it wants to be a gentle and slow, so the horse hardly notices, you know. And if you do it right, of course they're at home, aren't they? So that's all new. They're looking around to see who's who and what's changed and what's happened. Go on, walk up. Good boy. Come on. That's it, baby. Go on. Oh, that's it. Lovely. So this is another place I've just stopped just to show you. So the stable's open. We're just in the annual maintenance, you know, doing all the tyre stalls and the stables, washing them out, doing any maintenance we want. But if you see this reel come past with the dumper we use for mucking out, right under his head, can you see? There, like that. Drive it under his head, Roo, will you? So I should drive that, his head's inside the dumper. Oh, baby, stand still, darling. Go forward. Get up. Go on, get up. That's it. Just lift it up now, Roo. So his head's inside, and she'll lift it right up. Going up in front of his head, can you see? And look, see him looking and investigating everything, but not upset by it. That's it, and down them route. Slack rein. So, you know, that's just lovely. That's what we like to see. The horse is happy. He's got his leg at rest, as you can see there. Like that. Now I'm going to bring him in, let him see his mate. Come over, baby. Come on, darling. So come up and see his mate here, look. So that... So he's standing there with his mate, where he's just going to take the camera because I'm no bloody good with it. So, don't knock that stuff out of there. So, you know, see each other, touch each other, look. And then I'm going to take him up here. Come up. Go on, let me see this horse here. Go on, it's right up there. Come on. So that horse, and then we're going to come up here. Come on. Get up, babe, go on. Up you come. Come on. And then turn him round in here, which won't be easy. Come round, baby. Come round. Tight round, boy. Tight round, tight round, tight round. Come up like that. And if you listen carefully, you won't hear either one of them make a noise. He'll leave him quite happily. And if we put the camera on the other one there, you can see this one's out. This one's outside, that one's in. They work together all the time, but they'll leave each other separately. All these things are part of training. I'll keep saying it, getting horse between the shafts ain't too much at all, really. You know, anybody can do it. But it's this part of training. And the time you take to get the message over, discipline. And discipline's a dirty word. No one likes it these days. Come over. But you discipline yourself. Come over, baby. You discipline yourself when you get out of bed in the morning. Come back. Come back. Come back, babe. Come back. Come back, darling. Come back. Come back. Come back. Just a soft piece of rubber. Can you see? Come round there, darling. Come over. Go up there. Go on. That's it. Stand still. And he'll stand there now. Got no rein on him. I'll get off. Go down. I'm not saying that you should do this with your horse. I'm just saying that when they're broke properly, this horse is coming for. So when they're broke properly, they're a pleasure to be round. There's nothing wrong with breaking your own horse. It's a lovely thing to do. It's a nice thing to do. And people say, I watch your films all the time, and I'll follow what you do. But that's a dodgy thing in some ways. No disrespect to anybody, but there's so much more to it. I mean, if we on one horse alone reworked it out, on one horse alone, just the training from start to finish would be well over 100 hours that you could film. With things that was, but 90% of it, or well about 90%, but a big percentage of it is this, exactly this. Stand still when I asked you. There's a good boy, and whatever I do with him, he won't move. He'll stand there because I've asked him to. Now you can say, well, he's in the yard, but then he's just gone inside, hasn't he, and come out. That doesn't make no sense to him, just go in there and come out again. And he's standing there, he's not attempting to turn around, go back in, not arguing with me in any way. He's a nice little lad. But, if two ponies look the same, people would say, well, they're a good match. They're not, they're a good match in the fact they're both the same, odd coloured, in the same chestnut colour, but they don't make them a good match. What makes them a good match is getting to work together. And these are two entirely different ponies. They see the world in a different way. All pairs do really very well. One now and again. I mean, very, very few and far between. When you get them, I think, oh, they got that first time. No problem. They love that, but it's rare, very rare. Anyway, that's it, my little baby. And this one, he likes to nip you. Come on. So if I put me, come here, darling. If I put me hand there, right in there with his bit, look. Can you see? And he wouldn't attempt to bite me. If you give him a carrot, he'd crush the carrot, wouldn't he, with his teeth? But he wouldn't do that. He's a nice little boy. But he's a nice little boy because he's had a bit of discipline. Discipline is not hurting them. Corporal punishment are entirely different. You discipline yourself to clean your teeth in the morning, get up, go to work, all disciplined. They don't have any discipline in their world. only in the hierarchy in which they live. So discipline to them is totally foreign. To the human, you know, it's not foreign, is it? Because straight away from the baby going and crying when it would change, that type of thing, the interaction with. But these got no. Our world is not their world. So if we're going to bring them into it, do it right. Treat them with respect and get them to enjoy it, love it, like to do it, and want to do it for you. That sounded like a lecture, didn't it? And these are my new glasses, by the way. They work brilliant, you know, when it's half light. Okay.